In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis launches Diaspora Heritage Emergence Program. Regionally, Guyana unveiled first locally minted Independence Gold Medallion. And on the international scene, Russia ramps up threats against Ukraine as war rhetoric intensifies. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Today is Monday, 26th May, and I am Jasmine Thomas. First on the local scene, government through the Regional Integration and Diaspora Unit has launched an exciting and transformative experience designed to reconnect young St. Kitts and Nevis nationals and descendants with their roots, culture, and heritage. Centered on cultural immersion and leadership development, along with heritage exploration and national engagement, DHEP 2026 promises to be an unforgettable journey of identity, connection, and empowerment.
Excited that we have a program called the Diaspora Heritage Emergence Program, which will be launched this July from July 18th to the 25th, where we are trying to engage youth from around the globe or people residing in organizations to come back to St. Kitts and Nevis in this emergence program. It's a one-week program in both St. Kitts and Nevis, and each morning basically you wake up and you get an educational component of it, which goes to our governance or culture or economic situation. So you get the basic information for St. Kitts and Nevis. And then of course there's the tours and the fun part of it. And there's a big cultural immersion. In the first instance, the application form goes to the organization, the St. Kitts and Nevis organizations throughout the globe. They live in an area or are not a member of the association, they can actually apply directly to us also. Everything is on our website, diaspora.gov.kn. The application form, your information about the program. Once they get to St. Kitts and Nevis, we, our department, the government, along with corporate sponsors, which we already have some on board, would take care of all the expenses, the accommodation, the food, everything. It's going to be an exciting program. It's going to be a program of a lifetime. You come back with so much information. Excited.
Regional officials, government representatives, and United Nations partners discussed strategies for building crime prevention ecosystems across the Caribbean during high-level dialogue held as part of the launch of the CARICOM UN Framework for Action. Participants emphasized the need for more integrated approaches to address violence, youth vulnerability, illicit firearms, trafficking, and organized crime across the region. Stephanie Zibel, UNDP resident representative, said the framework is designed to help countries develop flexible, long-term strategies focused on prevention, governance, community trust, justice reform, and social support systems.
The Caribbean faces many shared pressures, from illicit firearm flows to organized crime, youth vulnerability, and economic strain. But we also have powerful assets, strong regional institutions, shared frameworks, and growing momentum around prevention.
Ms. Zibel added that the initiative builds on regional collaboration and supports nationally owned pathways toward long-term prevention. Honorable Iseline Phillip, Minister of Social Development, Gender Affairs, Youth Empowerment, Aging and Disabilities, outlined St. Kitts and Nevis' approach to addressing the root causes of crime and violence. She said local research identified family issues, financial vulnerability, peer pressure, and mental health as major factors contributing to crime and violence.
Which means we have to go back into the communities. We have to reach the families. We need to support the families more directly in terms of their needs. What are their proclivities towards violence? What are the issues that they're facing in their homes, in their communities, that's really making them vulnerable? We, here in St. Kitts and Nevis, the data that we have collected on a local level really points to family issues, financial vulnerability in terms of job opportunities, peer pressure that young people feel and experience, and mental health.
The minister said the government has established a National Secretariat for Human Security and Well-being to coordinate efforts across government agencies, communities, and partner organizations. Officials said the initiative represents a shift toward long-term, prevention-oriented approaches aimed at building safer and more resilient Caribbean societies. The St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited, SCELEC, is advising the public of scheduled maintenance outages for the week of Tuesday 26 to Friday 29th May. Today until 1 o'clock, Otlis Village, Lodge Project, Brighton Estate, and the Cabbage Housing Extension will be affected, while from 9 to 3, Willets, St. Paul's. On Wednesday 27th May, Cabbage Tree Housing, Phase 2 Transformer, Cayon Village, and Brighton Estate, Halfway Tree Project will be affected from 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon and the passing ground. For Thursday 28th May, 9 to 1 Industrial Site, while from 9 to 3 Challenges to Franklands, Old Road, and St. Paul's Village. And on Friday 29th May, from 9 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon, Buckley's Development and Doers. After the break, we will bring you the regional segment of the news.
This week on In Focus, UNESCO has been a critical partner to St. Kitts and Nevis over the years, playing a vital role in advancing matters related to education, culture, gender, the environment, and much more. Eric Falt, the new director of the UNESCO Regional Office, joins us to share on the recently held SIM Caribbean Cybersecurity Training for older adults and young people. Dr. Paul Hector, advisor at the Regional Office, and Her Excellency Neree Stockery, Secretary General of the National Commission, will also stop by. Join us for In Focus on this station.
Welcome back. On the regional scene, the government of Guyana has launched El Dorado Reimagined, a new national gold and jewelry brand aimed at transforming the country's gold industry from raw exports to value-added manufacturing. The initiative was launched as part of Guyana's 60th independence anniversary celebrations and included the unveiling of the country's first ever locally minted independence commemorative gold medallion. Officials said the medallion was produced entirely in Guyana using 100% locally sourced gold. President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali described the initiative as a defining moment in Guyana's economic and cultural development. He said the country is now demonstrating its ability to refine, manufacture, and export high-quality gold products and jewelry. Minister Vikram Bharat said the project represents a new chapter for the country's gold industry and reflects a national vision to move beyond extraction into value creation. The limited edition medallion was struck in 1 troy ounce of .999 fine gold and created to commemorate Guyana's Diamond Jubilee celebrations. The launch also featured a jewelry exhibition showcasing the work of local jewelers, manufacturers, and students from the Guyana Mining School. Officials said the broader goal of El Dorado Reimagined is to establish a modern and globally competitive gold and jewelry industry that can generate greater economic value, employment, and international recognition for Guyanese-made products. And air connectivity between Haiti and North America is set to improve with the launch of a new direct route between Cap Haitien and Newark Liberty International Airport. Airline Sunrise Airways confirmed that the service will begin on the 1st of June and will operate weekly using Airbus A320 aircraft. Officials say the route will provide a more direct link between northern Haiti and the large Haitian diaspora communities in New York and New Jersey without the need for connections through other hubs. The airline described the new service as part of its strategy to strengthen transport links that support tourism, trade, and economic activity in the region. The flight from Cap Haitien and to Newark is scheduled for Mondays, with the return service operating from Newark to Cap-Haitien on Tuesdays. Officials say bookings are now open through the airline's website, mobile app, customer service channels, and sales offices. We now turn our attention to the international segment of the news. Russia has stepped up its threats against Ukraine, warning of continued and systematic strikes on Kiev, targeting what it describes as the country's military-industrial infrastructure. Moscow has also urged foreign citizens and diplomatic staff to leave the capital as soon as possible amid escalating rhetoric surrounding the conflict. The warning comes after recent major strikes on Kiev over the weekend, which Ukraine says have become a recurring feature of the war since the full-scale invasion in 2022. Ukrainian officials say the overall security threat remains consistent with previous months and years, despite the increase in rhetorical warnings from Moscow. Analysts say the language from the Kremlin may reflect frustration over battlefield developments, as well as an attempt to exert psychological pressure on Ukraine and its allies. Ukraine continues to call for additional air defense support, warning that interceptor missiles remain in short supply amid ongoing large-scale attacks. Officials said the war, now entering its fifth year, continues to place significant strain on both military-civilian infrastructure across Ukraine. And rescue teams in Laos are racing against time to free 7 people who have been trapped for nearly a week inside a flooding cave in the central province of Saizamboon. The group is believed to have entered the cave in search of gold and wildlife before heavy rain and landslides blocked the entrance, leaving them stranded inside. Rescuers say narrow flooded pathways and rising water levels are making access extremely difficult, with teams using pumps to remove water and clear debris. Specialist cave divers, including experts who assisted in the 2018 then Thai cave rescue operation, have joined the effort to reach those trapped. Authorities say they have yet to confirm any signs of life, but rescue teams believe they are within close range of the area where the group may be located. Officials say operations are continuing around the clock as conditions inside the cave remain extremely challenging. We now take a look at the weather. Cloudy skies with a slight dust haze are expected over St. Kitts and Nevis for the next 24 hours. Temperature today is expected to reach a high of 30 degrees Celsius or 82 degrees Fahrenheit with humidity at 80%. Today's forecast calls for partly cloudy at first, with an increase in clouds and a 60% or moderate chance of showers this afternoon. Conditions tonight: partly cloudy skies with a 70% or a high chance of brief passing showers. Seas are expected to be at 1.5 to 2.1 meters or 5 to 7 feet. Therefore, a small craft advisory is in effect. Sunset this evening is at 6:40, with sunrise on Wednesday at 5:36. And that brings us to the end of the Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. Grace be to you, and the peace be multiplied from God the Father.